Hello Internet, this is BoneCarlos bringing to you another weapons quote-unquote guide. Today we're going to be looking at a G36C, and it's going to be brought to you by Wicked Arc Addicts. So big shout out to him for suggesting this gun. I had a ton of fun with it. And on the note of shout outs, I also like to give out a birthday shout out to EOL Mouse. Congratulations on your birthday. One more year, you're going to be a teenager, man. So enjoy, have fun, and see you online sometimes. So back to this gun, G36C. My impressions was it's a slower rate of fire, high damage weapon, as my cat rubs its tail on my ass. Thank you, kitty. That's cute. Slower rate of fire, high damage weapon. So you automatically want to be able to, you automatically assume you want to be put on kick on this weapon with a red dot sight. You're gonna want to use quick draw, sleight of hand, and stalker. And that class setup is just very ideal for this gun, and really ideal for any gun. And it's just a vanilla kind of class setup, and it's just one that you're going to be using throughout all the assault rifle weapons. But what I did find that I don't really need kick as more often than not. Since this is a high damage weapon, you're going to want to burst your shots and stagger your shots. You very rarely want to go full auto, since those 2 to 3 shots are going to take them down at close to far mid range. Anything beyond that, the damage drop off is pretty significant, and you're going to need more shots on target. But still, staggering your shots, bursting your shots, you really kind of don't need kick for it, which if you're going to be using the basic just assault class, I would recommend definitely using focus instead of kick, and along with those with the perks that I mentioned before. Another notable mention is that you're definitely gonna might want to think about using scavenger. Just to be able to pick up more ammo is always just great on any kind of class you're going to want to set up for. Other than that, that's pretty much any kind of those are the only 2 deviations that I found with the basic assault class. And since I said before about the whole kick thing, the other option that opens up for this gun is pretty much a 2x attachment, and it's very mouth-watering to be able to use that proficiency for this gun, especially when you're going to be using some kind of sight coupled with a silencer. Obviously you don't want to go into any kind of under barrel attachments, because they're just ridiculous in this game. And yes, those were some boosters, but they get the comeuppance in a minute. I completely missed them twice, as you just saw. The only noticeable difference that I noticed when using the silencer was just obviously how much more damage or how many more bullets you need to put into your opponent to be able to bring them down. Not so much at a close range, since you don't really need it. Its damage is so high, so powerful that you still bring them down in those 2 to 3 bullets. But just at a distance, you really need about 6, 7, sometimes 8, 9 shots to be able to bring them down, and that's when you definitely need scavenger for this gun. If you're going to be using 2x attachments with a silencer, with any kind of optic sight, and when I mean optic sight, I don't mean any kind of ACOG sight on it, because just ACOG and hybrid is just kind of an awkward fit for this gun. I found myself not liking or not enjoying using those optics on this gun, so just throw those out the window in my opinion. But like I was saying, with those 2 optics, the red dot and hollow, with a silencer, you're going to be trading through a lot of bullets. So definitely use scavenger. You're definitely going to be able to use quick draw or hardline, whichever one is your preference. And then for the third perk, you're obviously going to want to use stalker or death silence if you're playing free for all. What I did find enjoyable, what I really had fun with, with using with this weapon, was the thermal optics. I was quite surprised at how well it handled, especially at such a long range. I expected the bullet spread to be just all over the place, and it was true if you weren't using kick. This is one time when I definitely recommend using kick on the G36C, and be using when using with the thermal optics. It groups those bullets together, and coupled with the staggering shots, staggering your fire, as like I was mentioning before. You really put your bullets on your target very easy, as you can see. It's a very easy gun to use, very easy setup to use, in my opinion. Now you might want to say, oh yeah, I want to use a 2x attachments with a thermal and a silencer. That doesn't really work. The bullets just fly all over the place, and I find myself just getting frustrated using that setup. So definitely stick with the kick on the thermal for that. Just to keep those bullets on target. For the perks, I find myself using Scavenger. Obviously, you're gonna want to pick up those ammo packs, and just because you're gonna be using, just because you're gonna be shooting such a distance, regardless, you're obviously not gonna need any kind of quick draw because it's a sniper. You're not gonna be trying to quick scope with a G36C, obviously. So I find myself using a hardline predominantly. You could also use assassin, but if you're not gonna be, it doesn't really work since you're not gonna silence your weapon anyway. So hardline's the way to go. You're not gonna be using stalker. Obviously, for the reason that it's a thermal optics. You're pretty much using it as a sniper rifle. What I find myself using instead was either, not even either. It was just steady aim. When an enemy just for some reason gets really close to you and you just hit firing, being able to group those bullets together, getting those 2 to 3 bullets on your enemy, that much easier. It really paid off well. Other than maybe dead silence if you're going to be going that route. So that was pretty much it on my G36C. A high-powered weapon, low rate of fire, but still very, very fun to use. Like I mentioned before, you're going to want to avoid using any kind of ACOG. Even with kick, it just kind of it feels awkward with this gun. So stick with the regular red dot sight or hollow, and just have fun with the thermal optics if you so choose. So that's it pretty much on my take on the G36C. I hope you guys enjoyed. If not, leave a comment down below on what I could do to make it more enjoyable for you guys. Also, leave a comment down below on what gun you would like for me to do next. Any kind of primary is up for grabs other than the ones I've already done. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed again. And I'll probably see you guys next year. I don't know if I'm going to take another video next week since it's the whole Christmas holidays and vacations and whatnot. But if not, if I don't see you next Friday, I'll definitely see you guys next year. And